אתם מאזינים, אתם מאזינים, אתם מאזינים, אתם מאזינים, אתם מאזינים לרדיו כל השלום.
Hi Nadia, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Fine. What happened in Arabaidol? You lost?
You lost.
No, he said he's Palestinian. He didn't say he's Israeli.
Well, it's the Israeli citizenship that lost.
I see. So, no. So we are in the second. So Israel is second in the Arab world.
Yeah, in this case.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about today?
Actually, I was thinking about it on the way. And then I thought we will never have a problem of finding a topic.
Okay, so what's the topic today?
But then I thought that whatever we say,
have a topic.
not having a topic, there is something that we always need to talk about, is the state of awareness that we need to work on. Like I was thinking, like, what is the problem that we really face? What is going on both levels, not just only on one level, even though I do focus on the Palestinian level because it is the level I'm involved in. But somehow there is this merge in the situation in terms of how aware or unaware we are both to it. And this took my thoughts to the whole issue of education. Like it's normal that things should go together in a way when we're talking about education and awareness. Somehow you're talking about like an education system and the media outlets from both sides that work in a way that strip us in this systematic way of being unaware. It's not just unaware of what's going on. It's like this awareness system is something that we're really losing touch with the reality of it, which leaves us in this state of being. It's not just like being in control, like under the control of politicians. It's also like we're ending up to be just people who react to situations. We are not part of making a change. I don't know if we are able to be part of making the change that is needed.
So who is part of that?
Everything is in the hand of the politicians. Like those decision makers.
Politicians
not only just any politicians. Decision makers.
Politicians are people, and you can be a politician too. You can be decision maker too. It's up to you. And I don't feel that they do what they want to do. I feel that there is something that is bigger than them.
What is it?
I mean, if they want to find, I will not use the word solution, but semi-solution, an agreement between Israelis and Palestinians. I think they use the wrong way. Negotiations is not the right way, because negotiations is an outcome. Or the negotiations reflect the fact that there is a strong side and a weaker side. The strong side can tell the weaker side who will take part in the delegation, who will be in jail at that time, who will have to go for which checkpoint, etc. Negotiations has no T-junction that you have to take difficult decisions. You can say always tomorrow, the next week, after the holidays, and so on. And I feel that this is not the right tool to achieve an agreement between both sides. But the politicians, who I feel some of them do want to achieve an agreement, and they have in their mind what kind of agreement they want to achieve, cannot achieve because they use the wrong tool. the tool of negotiations, and they should use other tools, for example, arbitration. I have a conflict with you, Nadia. We'll go to third party, and I will try to explain why I'm right and you're wrong. You'll try to explain why you're right and I'm wrong, and at the end of the day, the third party will take a decision, and we should accept that.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Like thinking of all these, like I agree with you that the basis of what we need to start negotiations doesn't exist in as simple as how you put it. You don't have two equal sides negotiating on something. So it always makes this imbalance that there is no act of negotiations. There is an act of dictation. Even now, when the Palestinians are willing to take a move, let's say going to the UN today, like their declaration that they are willing to go for the UN for this timeline of a state, Netanyahu is so mad and resisting the fact that the Palestinians are thinking to do it from now, and thinks that he is like being unjustly treated and all this. Like you feel like from the beginning there is no base to the basics of this game to start with. But I was thinking also on like if we think of those people who want to work on having a solution in terms of a peace treaty, thinking of those who don't. And from the Palestinian side, you have the same more or less sounds, or actually it is just sounds because you really don't have voices anymore. The problem is that we all lost what we really want from that. Even the term peace is just a word that is used. Like if you look into the Israeli side now with all what's going on in the elections, campaigning for it, and wherever the relevancy of using the word peace process comes out, you see that even with the politicians themselves, the term doesn't have any profound meaning anymore. It is just something that you're using. I think that the people who are using it, they're not even. They don't know what would it mean if it even applies. Like if we go tomorrow to suggest a peace treaty, that person doesn't really know what is the peace he's talking about. On the Palestinian side, it's the same. What happened these last 2 days on the Palestinian arena with the murder of Abu Ain, it made some movement. The leadership quickly went in, let's do something, the usual things, coordination and then UN. And then you look at it, it's like, what kind of coordination are we talking about that we want to stop or want to keep? We as people, we don't even know what they're talking about. I don't know if the politician knows what he's talking about. And then they want to go to the UN. And I was like, why do we need to sign the treaties now? Like, aren't these supposed to be things that you already said sign that have been done? Like to apply for it for some UN things. This is something that Mahmoud Abbas talked about 2 years ago. In every single occurring conflict, they do it.
Yeah, but now the political atmosphere is different. I don't think that there is any connection between the appeal to the Security Council to the death of Ziad Abu Ain. I think that what they talk about the security cooperation, which I agree with you. I don't know what is it, or coordination actually, not cooperation. I have no idea what is it, and I don't know if it helps Israelis, if it helps Palestinians, or it helps Fatah against Hamas, or help Hamas against Fatah, or whatever. I don't know. But for the Security Council, right, is talking about that 2 years. But now the atmosphere is good for that. Why? First, the so-called negotiations between Israel and Palestine collapsed. I'm saying so-called because I don't think that there were any negotiations. The midterm elections in US took part. parliaments in Europe start accepting resolutions on recognition in Palestine. The Socialist International took a resolution accepting recognition. The Swedish government took a decision, and the US are hesitating if to use the veto or not. If they don't use the veto, then it's a big victory to the policy of Abbas of going to the Security Council and having a resolution of the Security Council, not of the UN National Assembly, of recognition, if they don't veto, because for sure the Palestinians will have the majority. So the only question if they veto or not. Of course, it is not clear cut. I believe probably Germany will not support, or there are few states, but still the majority is for the Palestinians. And if they don't use the veto, this is something that he could not achieve 2 years ago, even not 2 months ago, before the elections.
We still don't know if it's achievable or not. I think it's like the situation all the time comes more of a ripe situation towards isolating Israel in this issue because of the behavior of Israel internationally. And like this, there is this arrogance in a way in this diplomatic attitude of Israel from one side, and the more of violation towards Palestinians that keeps going on. So the situation is always getting more ripe towards towards the benefit of the Palestinian in this case, which I don't think that 2 years ago it wasn't ripe, but now it's more and more like in this kind of ripened situation. The issue here is, for me as a Palestinian audience, a Palestinian who has been hearing about this for the last 2 years. And every single time a crisis occurs, such as this one, but now it's getting worse, because I think it is too much to have a man who is a minister to be killed or die or whatever you want to call it in that setup of a scene. It's kind of, it's really like things are really escalating.
I think, Nadia, that by the way, I don't know, I have no opinion, or I don't know, but I think that you said that Israel killed President Arafat.
I think Israel, yes, killed
so a minister
Arafat.
is nothing. If you kill a president, then minister is not that.
But the setting, we're talking about settings as well. It's, I think, this will be a hard statement, but I think it's not waiting for me to make it hard. I strongly believe that Arafat was killed by Israel in Palestinians' hand, by Palestinian hands. So it's not just, I cannot blame Israel for the death of Arafat alone.
So who killed him?
I have no idea, but it was definitely a Palestinian hand that killed him. So it's, but this is not.
You think it were from the opposition, collaborators with Israel, Hamas people, Fatah people?
No, it was his own people. I think it was one
people?
of the close people to him. It's not.
Why should they kill him?
Why should? Because the American and the Israelis decided that his time is finished.